The Texas Longhorns are back in action this week. First of all, hook 'em. Sorry, I don't know how I keep forgetting that. But the Texas Longhorns are back in action. I can't wait to hear that fight song for the first touchdown. And I hope that this team that comes back out of the bye week is ready to go on offense, because the team that was playing offense before they headed to the bye week was a great offense. The offense that came out after the first bye week, not great. The offense that comes out of the second bye week, I hope is better. So here's to the Texas Longhorn offense that we all want to see coming back and ready to play. But in all seriousness, we play Florida this week. We are at home. This is another SEC game. This is another chance for us to prove who we are and to get better and to do all those things. And all I need to see, I just want to see like disciplined football coming from the University of Texas. I want all of those athletes to just come in and be disciplined. I want disciplined play calling. I just want basic things. I'm not asking for a lot, but honestly, let me get to the other side of this matchup when it comes to Florida. Here's the interesting thing about all this, and here's the interesting thing about football. I had all of my notes ready for Florida. I was just going to watch them play Georgia, and I was going to confirm that the things that I think that they do well, they actually do well, and I was super excited to see it. So I sat down to watch them watch Georgia, and I'm sitting down, and I'm like, okay, yep, DJ Lagway throwing the ball deep. Yep, okay, I thought that. Oh, defense, ball hawk, hungry, wanting turnovers. Yeah, okay, yeah, I saw that coming. Okay, this Florida team looks about as good as I thought they would look. Okay, yeah, they have it. And then DJ Legway gets hurt, and is it Legway, whatever. Every single thing I had in my notes became obsolete because the team had to change. And they still played a very good game when they played Georgia. And I was just taking a mental note of the things that I had already seen them play before that. And so they just confirmed everything I know about them. Some people will just straight up be like, oh, Florida's not that good. Florida's not that good. Florida's bad. And I don't think that that's true. Florida has lost to Georgia. They've lost to Texas A&M. They've lost to Tennessee, and they've lost to Miami. So Georgia, Miami, Texas A&M, and Miami. Like, excuse me? Like, those are really good losses. Like, if I was going to want to lose to anybody, it would be those teams, right? It would be those teams that are ranked in the top 25. So yes, Florida has lost games to teams that are quite frankly better than them, which is expected, but I don't think this Florida team is all bad. And so I think that Texas has to be ready to go. They have to be ready to go from the start of the game, not the second quarter, not the second half. They have to be ready to go on the first drive of the football game. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping that we don't get the ball first. I'm kind of hoping that our defense gets to go on the field first, because this offense, when they get the ball first, it's like, I don't know. I don't think they're ready to go. So let me get into the three things I'm going to be watching for this game that I think will determine how this game goes. The first thing I think is going to be interesting about this game is Florida is struggling to stop the run. I think they ranked like 90th in stopping the run and defense, which we all know is not ranking 90th is not very good. But the problem with that is Texas hasn't been running the ball that great. So the first thing I'm going to be looking at is, how does Texas run the ball against this Florida team? I feel like if Texas is able to run the ball, then obviously, like I say in every single video, anytime I talk about football, anytime you can run the ball, it opens up your offense. So the first thing I'm going to be looking at is, can Texas run the ball? And in a weird way, I'm going to also be looking at is, who is the running back that is actually able to run the ball? Because that's kind of been the other interesting thing that I've thought about when it comes to Texas, is how much we're really struggling with our run game right now. So I'm very curious to see what our run game looks like against Florida, and can we come out and run the football? The second thing I'm going to be looking at, it should come as no surprise to you, it's going to be what this offensive line looks like out of a bye week. So I've been ranting and raving about this offensive line. They haven't looked good. They just look, I don't know, they look like they're not communicating. They look like they haven't been playing together for 3 years. It doesn't look great. And so I'm very curious to see what this offensive line looks like against Florida's defensive line. It's not the fact that I think Florida's defensive line is this magnificent defensive line, but they will present challenges for us if we are not able to block, and if we are not able to communicate, and if we are not able to do the little things right. So I'm very curious to see what this offensive line looks like against Florida's defensive line. Now, I think the interesting part about all of this is, if you would have asked me this five weeks ago or whatever, I would have been like, this would not be something on my list. But as I've seen this Texas team over the past few weeks after the bye week, I'm concerned about this offensive line. So I hope this is the game that this offensive line shows me who they are and comes out and they're ready to go. So that is going to be the second thing I'm going to be looking forward to, because I think these things are going to be important to determine how this game goes. The third thing I'm going to be looking forward to Or the third thing I'm going to be looking at is, can this Texas defense create some confusion and create some turnovers from this new quarterback that's playing? I'm assuming as of today, as of this recording, that Lagway is not going to play. If it ends up that he does play, I might come back in and add like a little slice up of a video here and insert other things. But my real question is going to be, can Texas's defense create confusion for this new quarterback? I don't even know his name, shame on me. And can Texas create turnovers? Because historically we've been able to create turnovers, and the turnovers have helped us. Obviously with their offense really sucking right now, we haven't really been able to do much, but it is a momentum booster whenever your defense can create turnovers. So I'm very curious to see, can Texas's defense come out and really make a stand and put pressure on the quarterback? I'm also curious to see is like, can Texas stop the run? Because if Texas is able to stop the run, I think that also makes it harder for this new quarterback that hasn't played. And so I'm very curious to see what our defense looks like against this quarterback, because I expect our defense to come out and play like the #1 defense that they are. And I don't know why I'm using air quotes. They're ranked the #1 defense, but I hope they come out and show why and make a point and prove that they deserve that title. We can go back and forth of what I think and how I feel and all those things, but it's not worth it. As of right now, Texas is #1 defense on paper, so I'll just leave it at that. The other thing I was actually going to add in here, but I decided not to add in here and just let it go, was I was going to say something about Ewers, but I actually think if Ewers has the time that he needs and the offensive line is doing what they're supposed to be doing, I expect Ewers to be fine. Because the thing with Ewers is a collapsed pocket is not a great pocket. And to be honest, unless you're a scrambling quarterback, most quarterbacks don't like a pocket that's collapsing and don't like a pocket where they don't trust their offensive lineman. So I feel like this is more on the offensive lineman than it is on Ewers. But obviously, I hope Ewers plays well in all those things. But I am seeing bigger issues right now with this Texas offense than Quinn Ewers, mainly being our running game is kind of whatever. And then our offensive line has been getting torched, quite frankly, giving up way too many sacks and just not doing things great. And so I'm going to be looking at that offensive line in our running games. Having said all of that, you're probably wondering who I'm going to pick. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to pick against Texas. And the truth is, I'm probably not going to pick against Texas for the rest of the year because I have no reason to pick against them. Unless something crazy happens, I will probably always pick Texas. Even if Arch Manning comes in and he's the quarterback, I will probably pick Texas because I believe Texas has better athletes. I believe Texas has better coaching. I believe Texas has played together longer, and all of the pieces on this Texas team, if you do a little research about them, all of the pieces on this Texas team, a lot of them were here last year. And so that camaraderie, that consistency, I'm always probably going to pick Texas to win the game. So I'm just throwing that out there. But here we are, right? Another chance to prove ourselves, another chance to get better, another chance to go out there and to just show the world who we are. We're coming off of a bye week. This should look good. I don't know what I'm going to see, but I'm really excited about this. And I hope that Texas goes in there and they take care of business. And after the game, I get to make my video and I get to rant and rave and I get to do all the things, but it's coming off of a win. I hope Texas does what they're supposed to do. I hope they take care of business. You shouldn't be in the top 10 if you cannot beat Florida at home. So I expect them to take care of business. I expect them to look good while doing it. And I actually expect our offensive line and our run game to be better than it has been. So those are my thoughts. That is where I'm landing. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you have something to say and you want to say in the comment section below, let me know what your comments are because I like hearing what other people are thinking. I like hearing what other people see and what other people are feeling because it also either lets me know there's something else going on that I'm not thinking about or that we're all kind of on the same page. But honestly, it's just kind of cool to like interact with fans and see what they're thinking and feeling about the teams that we all love. So welcome back, Texas. I can't wait to hear that beautiful fight song as you all are running out of the field and scoring touchdowns. And we're here. This is what it's all about. I will say I have a little bit less anxiety when my teams aren't playing, but I do love to sit and watch and see them play on the weekend. So I won't complain about that. At the end of all of this, I don't want to say a win is a win because a win is not a win as it comes to Texas. They need to show up. They need to prove that they have gotten better. And I want to just see some adjustments made. And you know what? I hook Coach Sark takes the points. And I'm just going to leave that where it's at. As always, hook 'em.